The sun was setting behind the hilltop villa where close friends, family, and a few lucky fans had gathered for what was expected to be a beautiful, intimate celebration. But no one knew that they were about to witness a moment that would become one of the most heart-stirring public declarations of love in recent memory. Dara, radiant in an elegant green gown, facing Jung Il-woo. The warm golden light cast a halo around them as they held hands, hearts visibly racing. The air was filled with anticipation. People had known about their close bond for a long time, whether it was through interviews, joint appearances, or their charming chemistry during a 2023 reality travel series in Tuscany. Had been speculating about them for years. They laughed easily together, supported each other through tough times, and were often spotted on each other's social media feeds. But despite all the rumors, neither of them ever confirmed or denied the nature of their relationship. That was, until now. As the MC announced it was time for the vows, a hush fell over the garden. Dara took a deep breath. Her eyes shimmered not just from the lights, but with unspoken emotion. Then she began to speak. "You once told me that I made the ordinary feel magical," she began, her voice clear but trembling slightly. "But what you didn't know is that you made me believe in quiet love, the kind that doesn't need to shout to be heard." There was an audible sigh from the audience. Cameras flashed as people leaned forward, phones trembling in their hands as they tried to capture every word. "You saw me at my most vulnerable. When I thought I had nothing left to offer, you stood by me, not because I was strong, but because you were. Today, I don't vow to be perfect. I vow to be present, to keep learning you, loving you, and choosing you, every day, in every life." It was at this point that the camera panned to Dara's mother, seated in the front row, and covered her mouth as tears streamed down her cheeks. It was no ordinary moment of motherly pride. It was something deeper, a profound recognition that her daughter had found something rare and beautiful. The crowd was visibly moved. Even the ever-composed Jung Il-woo blinked back tears. He reached out, his thumb gently brushing away a tear from Dara's cheek as she smiled through the emotion. Behind that moment, however, was a story that few knew. Dara had struggled in love for years. Fame brought with it scrutiny, and every relationship she attempted was either pushed into the spotlight or eroded by public pressure. She had built walls, carefully constructed barriers to protect her heart. Her mother, a woman who had endured years of watching Dara face heartbreak in silence, had always worried whether her daughter would ever find someone who truly saw her. Jung Il-woo had met Dara at a particularly low point in her life. She had just turned down a major comeback role, citing burnout. He had come to visit her on the set of a charity project in Cambodia. The friendship that began there was not flashy or fast-moving. It was tender. It was consistent. And most importantly, it was real. As their connection deepened, so did the trust. Dara's mom, once skeptical of any man around her daughter, began to see something different in Jung Il-woo. She saw the way Dara softened around him. He brought calm to her chaos, and how he respected her independence. So when Dara began preparing her vows, she didn't just write them for Jung Il-woo, she also wrote them with her mother in mind. After the ceremony, guests swarmed the couple, offering congratulations and wiping away tears. Dara's mom stood quietly to the side, handkerchief in one hand, watching them with an unreadable expression. But when Dara approached her, the older woman opened her arms, and the two embraced tightly. "You said everything I ever wanted to hear," her mother whispered. Later that evening, backstage moments were captured on a few lucky fan cams. One showed Dara and her mother sitting quietly together. No words were exchanged, but the way their hands stayed clasped said more than 1,000 conversations. The internet exploded. Within an hour, hashtags like #DaraVows, #Il-woo and Dara, and #mother-daughter moment were trending across Korea and the Philippines. Fans from all over the world posted clips, wrote tributes, and shared their own stories of parental approval and emotional healing. "This isn't just a love story," one user wrote on Twitter, "it's a healing story." Dara's words healed all of us. Even celebrities joined in. Several K-pop idols posted about crying while watching the video. Veteran actress Kim Hye-soo commented, "In all my years, I've never seen a vow this honest and universal." Dara spoke for every woman who has ever tried to convince the world, and her mother, that she was finally okay. But perhaps the most viral moment came the next morning, when Dara herself posted a handwritten letter on Instagram. It read, "Last night, I spoke with my heart full. To Ilwu, you are my safest place. To my mom, thank you for trusting me to know my own heart. And to everyone who cried with us, may you find a love that feels like peace." It received over 2 million likes within 5 hours. Journalists called it the most human moment in an industry often clouded by perfection. Fans called it proof that real love, and real healing, could exist under the spotlight. But the story wasn't over yet. Part 2 of this remarkable journey unfolded not on stage, but in the quiet corners of the night that followed. What cameras missed, what only a few witnesses were privileged to see, added even more depth to an already unforgettable moment. While the garden was being cleared and the fairy lights dimmed, Dara and Jung Il-woo sat beneath a fig tree, away from the crowd. Still in her gown, Dara rested her head on his shoulder. "Is it too much?" she asked. "It was everything," he replied. "You didn't just say those words for me, you said them for you. And for her." She nodded slowly, and he squeezed her hand. That night, no press photos were released from that fig tree moment, but an anonymous staff member later posted about it on a forum. "I saw them just sitting there, silent and still. There was something so complete about it. Like they didn't need anything else. Just each other." At her hotel room, Dara spent the next morning with her mom. They didn't talk about the event. Instead, they shared breakfast, looked at old photo albums, and for the first time in a long time, felt entirely at ease. Dara's mother later spoke briefly to a reporter who had long covered the family, when she was younger. "Worried she'd be too strong for her own good. But now I know, she was just waiting for someone who didn't mind her strength. Who loved it." As news of the event spread internationally, media outlets across Asia and beyond highlighted not just the fashion, or the celebrity guest list, but the emotional depth of the night. Readers were captivated by something they rarely see in celebrity culture: authenticity. That's what made Dara's words so powerful. They weren't crafted for drama or perfection. They came from a woman who had loved, lost, healed, dared to open her heart again. And in doing so, she reminded all of us that sometimes the most touching vows aren't about fairy tales. They're about choosing each other every day, in every life. Weeks later, Dara and Jung Il-woo released a short documentary titled Every Life, Every Day on their shared YouTube channel. Included behind-the-scenes footage from the event, snippets of them rehearsing their vows, and reflections on what that day meant to them. In one scene, Jung Il-woo is shown talking to Dara's mother in the kitchen of the villa. "You raised someone incredible," he tells her. Laughs softly. She raised herself. Just tried not to get in the way. The documentary gained millions of views in just a few days. Fans praised its rawness, and many expressed how it helped them navigate their own relationships. Some said it inspired them to call their mothers. Others said it gave them hope that love, even after heartbreak, is still possible. The final scene, Dara and Jung Il-woo are shown walking through a forest trail, holding hands. The sun filters through the leaves as Dara turns to the camera and says, "We don't know what the future holds. We know who we want beside us when we find out." And with that, the screen fades to black. Love stories are told every day. Once in a while, one comes along that doesn't just entertain, but transforms. Dara and Jung Il-woo's story, marked by vulnerability, honesty, and a shared journey toward healing, did exactly that. It wasn't just her mom who cried that night. It was an entire generation, watching from behind screens, who saw in Dara's words a reflection of their own deepest hopes. And in that moment, we all believed in love a little